Hi, welcome to this Blender video tutorial entitled NURBSSurfaceCircle Part 1. Blender provides modelers with 4 different circle objects. A mesh circle object, a Bezier circle object, a NURBS circle object, and a NURBS surface circle object. The mesh circle object consists of a set of vertices arranged in a circular shape. The vertices can be moved, rotated, or scaled, and can be extruded by selecting the vertices, then press the E key, and moving the extruded vertices to their new location. The Bezier circle object consists of a set of Bezier control points and their associated handles. The control points can be moved, rotated, or scaled, and the control handles can be adjusted to manipulate the curve going into or out of the control point. The Bezier circle cannot be extruded using the E key. However, it can be extruded up along the world Z-axis by the Extrude controller in the Geometry panel. The NURBS circle object consists of a set of NURBS control vertices that can be moved, rotated, or scaled to control the shape of the circle. The NURBS circle object cannot be extruded using the E key. However, it can be extruded up along the world Z-axis by using the Extrude controller in the Geometry panel. The NURBS surface circle object consists of a set of NURBS control vertices that can be moved, rotated, or scaled to control the shape of the circle. These control vertices can be extruded by selecting the control vertices, pressing the E key, and moving the extruded control vertices to their new location. The NURBS surface circle, like the mesh circle, is a good choice for extruding cylindrical or vase-like objects. To demonstrate this, I'll delete these 4 objects and go to Top View. Here I will add a new NURBS surface circle object. I will open up the Write Notations panel, checkmark Background Image, and open up the panel. I will click on the Add Image button, then the Open button. This displays Blender's file locator. I'll select the pawn.png image file from my desktop and click Open Image. I will set the opacity to 0.1 and click on the All Views button. Here I will limit the background image to the front view. I will then switch to front view and lower the NURBS surface circle to the bottom of the pawn image and scale it up a bit. I will then tab into Edit mode, and with all the control vertices selected, I will press the E key followed by the Z key and extrude the control vertices up along the Z-axis. Then the E key followed by the S key and scale the control vertices in a bit. Then E key followed by the Z key and extrude them up a bit. Then E key followed by the S key and scale them in a bit. Then E key followed by the Z key and extrude them up a bit. I'll then press the S key and scale them back a bit. Then E key followed by the S key and scale them out a bit. Then E key followed by the Z key and scale them up about half the circle. Then S key and scale them out a bit. Then E key followed by the Z key and extrude them up to the top of the circle. Then S key and scale them in a bit. Then E key followed by Z key and extrude them up a bit. Then E key followed by S key and scale them down a bit. Then E key followed by the Z key, and extrude them up about half the curve. Then S key and scale them down a bit. Then E key followed by Z key and extrude them up to the top of the straight part. Then E key followed by the Z key and extrude up to the top. Then S key and scale them out a bit. Then the E key followed by the Z key and extrude up a bit. Then S key and scale them in a bit. Rather than extrude the top sphere, I'll snap my cursor to the existing selection. Shift S, cursor to selection. This places my cursor at the very top of the pawn. While still in edit mode, I will then press Shift A and add a NURBS surface sphere object. Then go to front view. I will then move the sphere up a bit and scale it out a bit. I'll then tab out of edit mode. I now have a modeled chess pawn using the NURBSSurfaceCircle. Notice that the bottom of the object is not capped. Unlike the mesh object, we cannot, with a NURBSSurface object, merge the control points. I'll tab into edit mode and select one of the bottom control vertices, then press Shift R, which will select the bottom row of vertices. I'll then press the E key, followed by the S key, and extrude scale the control points until they meet. I'll then tab out of edit mode. Then set the origin point for the pawn object to the geometry. I'll delete this pawn object and switch to top view and add a NURBSSurfaceCircle to the scene. I'll then tab into edit mode. I'll select one of the control vertices and go to the Object Data Properties editor. The NURBSSurfaceCircle is actually a closed, cyclic NURBS surface curve with 8 preset control vertices. The NURBSSurfaceCircle, unlike the mesh circle and the Bezier circle, will not retain its circularity when subdivided. Of the NURBSSurfaceCircle control vertices selected, I'll press the Subdivide button in the left tool panel. Note that the circle now has 16 control vertices, and it's more of a rounded square shape than a circle shape. In fact, if I now set the NURBSSurfaceCircle order down to 2, it becomes a perfect square. I will set the order to 3. At this setting, the NURBSSurfaceCircle is excellent for extruding square steel type objects. I'll go to front view and turn off the background display. With the 16 control vertices selected, I'll press the E key followed by the Z key and extrude them up a bit. I'll then extrude again. Then rotate the control vertices 45 degrees around the Y-axis. I'll then scale them up a bit. In side view, I'll scale them down a bit along the Y-axis. In the front view, I'll extrude them along the X-axis. I'll then rotate them 45 degrees around the Y-axis, and then scale them down along the Z-axis. In side view, I will scale them up along the Y-axis. Then tab out of edit mode. This is a good choice for mimicking square steel tubing.